Just testing it out, maybe?
Yeah. Gotta eat a lot of beans then.
Right.
He worked with me for a few years.
You too, huh?
Without saying hey or nothing?
Lee, how are you?
Hello, Lee.
Brought your son in with
How
you?
you doing?
Good to
Good.
see you. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Well, of course. We're problem solvers.
They're getting ready to put, they said they're gonna put this, VNC
Beat 'em up.
that goes to the brain. They said that's just,
We'll just nickname him Smoking Bob. Thanks, bud. Yeah.
Who's your property manager?
Fairhaven.
I don't.
Butch? Do a letter in writing and do a
Yeah.
formal complaint? That's not a good idea.
What's your name?
We're live.
Yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, well, he
Hey,
needs to take care of that.
we can call the
Yeah.
manager.
We used to run all over
Well,
that.
it should be non-smoking.
Okay, before we get started, I have a couple of pieces of business here. First thing is I got to read the public meeting impact statement that we have for our Title VI funds that we get federally. As a recipient of federal funds and in support of Lawrenceburg's efforts to ensure non-discrimination and equal access to all citizens, the city gathers statistical data regarding participants in city activities. Therefore, we have provided a voluntary Title VI public involvement survey at this meeting. You are not required to complete the survey. However, the form is anonymous and will be used solely for the purpose of monitoring our compliance with Title VI and ADA, and those are back on the back wall if you choose to fill one out. And then one other thing I would like to do, I believe we were asked to do this about 3 years ago, and they called and asked that we would do this again. April 22nd is going to be deemed, I guess, Lauren Hill Day. So I got a proclamation I'd like to read before we get the meeting started tonight. I'm sorry? Oh. Okay, this is Lauren Hill Day, April 22nd, 2021. Whereas Lauren Hill was a graduate of Lawrenceburg High School, a Lawrenceburg High School women's basketball alumni, and a member of Mount St. Joseph University women's basketball team. And whereas Lauren Hill was diagnosed with DIPG, a type of terminal inoperable brain cancer, on November 20th, 2013, and whereas Lauren Hill continued to enjoy life, raise awareness for DIPG, and play the sport she was so passionate about during her illness. The City of Lawrenceburg and the Dearborn County Community Foundation enabled the Lauren Hill Make a Difference Fund to ensure grants are available in perpetuity to address the changing needs in the community, following Lauren's fine example of philanthropy and her motto to, in quotes, never give up. Whereas Lauren Hill continues to be a voice of hope and inspiration to other children and young adults with cancer, Mount St. Joseph University set up the Forever 22 Scholarship that supports Mount St. Joseph students experiencing a challenging life event in her honor to allow students to remain in school. And whereas April 22nd, 2021 will be a day of remembrance for Lauren Hill as a courageous young lady who has inspired all of us with her numerous accomplishments, courageous attitude, and dedication to raising funds for cancer research, especially while battling a terminal disease. Now, therefore, I, Kelly Milan, Mayor of the City of Lawrenceburg, do recognize that April 22nd as Lauren Hill Day in the City of Lawrenceburg, and invite all citizens to duly note this occasion, dated the 19th day of April, 2021. So, what everybody lived through that time back when Lauren was going through that, and we pray for her family quite often. I know it's still, I see Lisa and Brent out quite a bit at different events and talk to them, and they're still fighting that fight. And so Lauren was definitely an icon in this community, and so April 22nd is Lauren Hill Day. So Okay. I don't know how you top that.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'd like to open up the City of Lawrenceburg Board of Works meeting for April 19th, 2021 with a roll call, Mr. Fetty.
Sure. Board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Utility Director Billy Kennett.
Present.
President Kelly Milan.
Here.
And myself.
Okay, any announcements, guys? Tony or Tommy, you guys got anything for this meeting?
I have none, Mayor.
Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, Mr. Fetty, the staff accountant employment contract.
Yeah, last meeting we the board approved the hiring of our staff accountant, but today we've got the contract in front of us. What I want to get is approval of the contract, which he'll start full time on May 5th. So it's in the packet. If I can get approval on that.
Okay, you two have any questions about the contract? You have a chance to read it over and everything? Okay.
I have none.
It's similar to all of our yearly contracts, so. All right, if no questions, I'll entertain a motion to approve it.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Weldon, Acres versus City of Lawrenceburg.
Thank you, Your Honor. If it pleases the Board of Public Works and Safety for the City of Lawrenceburg, we discussed as appropriate in an executive session the lawsuit for which we are one of many, many parties. This is a class action lawsuit. And our insurance carrier has provided coverage and legal counsel for this matter because of the nature of the litigation. I would ask for a motion to approve a release of our interest in this matter, which in exchange we'd be provided with a dismissal as a defendant, which is the advice of myself and also the advice of our insurance attorney that we proceed that way. So I'd ask for a motion to authorize the mayor to sign that on behalf of the city.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Thanks, sir.
Okay, any old business, anyone?
I have none.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I wanted to see is where we were at with the RFP for the motorcycle racetrack.
Yes, sir. Mr. Roulette, that RFP was published to run in the Register twice with 3 times actually, and the deadline is 1 p.m. on Monday, May 3rd for submission. So that was published in the newspaper, but it was also sent directly to anyone who we encountered that had any kind of interest along the way. People who used to run the track suggested a couple possibilities, and we actually had someone else reach out to us. So we're sending it directly to anyone that we think has interest. But it's out there, and thank you to Register and Journal Press.
Hopefully we'll get somebody to want to partake in that, being the promoter of that, so.
I drove by there, and there's an old van sitting in the dirt track there. Who's that belong to? Does that come with the track, or?
What? Yeah, well, they do. They've got some equipment there inside as well. And I talked to the former proprietor, who of course never got off the ground. You know, they didn't open it this year. Technically, they still owe us for that lease, which is negotiable. I think what we can do, an option would be, if we're lucky enough to find somebody to run it, then we negotiate with the old owners. We figure out who owns what. You know, obviously keep as much existing infrastructure there as we possibly can. Have some kind of transfer of that property so that the new owner can hit the ground running. So I don't know who owns everything over there. It's probably a mixture of a few different people, honestly.
Any other questions?
I know in the very near future, there's gonna be maintenance that's required there too. I don't know if we're already kinda doing that.
Really? What kind of maintenance?
Like lawn maintenance, just
Okay.
those kind of things.
I'm sure we're mowing, but I'll send an email to, or we'll send an email to Brad Massey and make sure that they're doing that.
Cause that conservancy over there is beautiful, all those fields. We'd hate to have a big overgrown field over there right across the street from those beautiful softball fields and soccer fields.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any additional old business? Either one of you. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next meeting, we'd like to call to order is the Lawrenceburg Utility Board, Utility Service Board for April 19th, 2021. Roll call, Mr. Fetty.
Sure. Board member Tony Abbott.
Here.
Board member Justin Noppert.
Sir.
Board member Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Board member Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Board member Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon.
Here.
Utility Director Billy Kennett.
Here.
President Kelly Malone.
Here.
And myself.
Okay. Any announcements, Mr. Kennett?
No announcements this time.
Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Kennett, IMPA contract extension?
Yes, sir. I'm pleased to introduce two of our IMPA associates, Mr. Dirk Garriott and Mr. Justin Thompson. They come down to join us today. Just a little bit of history on this. Something that we're certainly proud of is Mr. Horney and Mr. Rudolph played a big presence in starting IMPA. They were the founding fathers, if you will. And to have that foresight to see the power of 61 versus the power of one, it's just a tremendous thing that they started years ago. We've certainly reaped the benefits of this agreement that we've signed with them. It's extremely powerful. It's neat to see a statewide organization that has grown like they have. It's not just wholesale power purchasing and delivery. There's all kinds of ancillary services that they provide that helps us out as well. So what IMPA is asking for is an 8-year extension to the existing contract. The existing contract was a 50-year contract. And the reason for that, with the interest rates being record low, they want to make it an even 30 years going out when they go to renegotiate those bonds. So it's easier to negotiate a 30-year bond versus a 22-year bond. So that's the reason they are wanting the 8-year extension. This will be Amendment 3 to the contract, and my recommendation is for approval of the contract. Any questions?
I'd like to look it over before I do any voting on it, and I wouldn't vote on it tonight, I wouldn't think. Like a little more information.
Do we have that? Have you sent that contract to us, Bill?
Yes, he
Yeah,
sent it to us some time back.
I emailed it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I read through it, because it takes us to 2050, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the existing agreement expires
read
in
it.
2042. This extension would take us to 2050.
Correct, yes.
Do we have a motion? Whether to accept or to Bill's recommendation or to take some time to review?
The only thing I can say, Mayor, is I reviewed it, and I'm good with it, but I mean, if there's others that want to take the time to review it, you'd sent us that by email several weeks back, I believe it was.
Yeah, but, okay, but isn't there other things to consider about this contract besides just with IMPA that we talked about earlier? Our lawsuit?
No, this is only
Yeah.
an 8-year
Yeah.
extension for, with us to IMPA. That is nothing to do with the other.
That doesn't have nothing to do with our lawsuit.
Yeah.
Nothing, nothing. No, that's separate, Tony.
All right.
Yeah, to go along with, I seen where Frank Rudolph started that too. That was
Yeah.
amazing when I
Yeah.
read
Long
that.
time ago.
And Mr.
Yes, it
Horny.
was.
Mr. Horny as well.
Yes,
They
it
both-
was.
I think there was 8 people that grouped together to organize this and start it. And we had Greendale and Lawrenceburg as 2 of the 8. So that's something, and they give us proper accolades up in Indianapolis for that as well.
Do we get original founders discount?
We know a guy.
Tony, does that change your, I mean,
Yeah, if it doesn't have
it doesn't-
anything to do with the
the
other
others.
lawsuit, because I thought we were going to talk about that
No,
with this.
no, nothing.
Okay.
Completely separate.
I'll agree with Mr. Kennett, one is better than, or 61 is better than one.
Yeah.
As you stated in your letter.
So can I get a motion to, in favor of extending the 8 years, or what kind of motion would you like to make?
I'll make the motion that we do extend it. The 8
Extend
years.
it, the
Yep, to
8-year
2050,
extension?
Yes.
A motion on the floor is to go forward with the 8-year extension. That is Mr. Kennett's recommendation as well. Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Bill.
If I could just say one thing real quick, sorry to interject, but we came prepared tonight to present and answer questions, but I just want to tell everybody thank you for putting your faith in us with this extension. Very, very much appreciated.
Absolutely.
And also just a point of clarification here, I understand this is the Utility Service Board. This does have to pass through the City Council when we do these extensions, so.
We can pass it on to city council next meeting with a favor.
Very good, okay, I appreciate that, Mayor.
Do
Thank you.
that.
If anybody has any other questions in the meantime, please feel free to reach out to us.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
I have just a couple other things, Mayor. We are currently working on our 5-year capital plan for the electric, water, and sewer. It's in review. The capital plan has been completed, and it's in review right now. It's a very good 5-year capital plan that's very focused on fixing infrastructure and improving infrastructure. So we're excited about it. It'll be a great deal. And as a part of that, one of the things we've been talking about is, you know, they account for depreciation, but there's not a GL account for the depreciation. And we're creating that account now to where we can move money over there so we can actually keep track separately of our depreciation. So all great things moving forward.
Should have been done a long time ago.
Yes, sir.
Good point. Good point. I'm glad you're doing that. Anything else under new business?
No, sir.
Mr. Kennett?
No, sir.
Old business, Mr. Kennett, you got Reedy Financial Report. Is this the monthly?
Yeah, it's a monthly report. We are still getting the financials straightened out. I know you hear that from me each month. It gets better each month. We're catching up each month. We're getting things in the right slots. And so more good things to come. Each month it'll get better and better. So any questions regarding the Reedy report? Okay. Just another couple of things that, this just came in this morning, just to give you an update. We had the sale of the boring machine, the Nissan Leaf, and the back trailer. Suggested sale price of all three was $180,000. We ended up getting $200,800.
Good for you.
We came ahead of that, by doing that, and kudos to John Johnson and Crystal Quicksall for heading that up and getting that done.
Yeah, that's good. Actually got more than what we thought.
Yeah, how about that?
Amazing. Doesn't happen here very often. Good.
That's all I have.
That's good. Thanks, Billy. Dell, you got an interlocal agreement?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. It pleases the Utility Service Board. You will find in your packets a proposed interlocal agreement between Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities. And this is an amendment to the original interlocal agreement. So there was originally established an agreement by between Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities and Dearborn County Regional Sewer District to extend a sewer line beyond the city limits and down Wilson Creek Road. The original agreement called for the DCRSD to install that infrastructure at their cost, which they did, and then the commensurate terms with LMU were, as they originally were established, were then renegotiated so that the end result is that this line has been installed, it has been run. We do have, I believe, 4 customers that are on the line already, at least 3 and maybe a 4th. And so the customers who live on Wilson Creek Road that are outside the city limits that can be served by this line will have that available to them. However, Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities in the city of Lawrenceburg will play no role at all in whether or not they have to hook up to that line. So the big difference between the old agreement and the new agreement is that that responsibility was originally on us to have people or force them legally through legal channels to connect to the line. We felt that that was not our place and not something that we would want to participate in. So now the county will work with their property owners. My understanding is that if they can show that they have a working, fully functional septic, that they won't be required to hook to the sewer. But if their septic has issues, then the county will require them to hook to this sewer line. Once they hook to the sewer line, then they do become LMU customers, and they're given the rates that are set out in this amended agreement. So DCRSD has been terrific. We met with them here in Chambers. We discussed our concerns with the original agreement, and they agreed to amend it exactly as we asked them to do. So I won't speak for the mayor, Mr. Kennett, but they were here during those discussions, and this is a reflection of them essentially agreeing to our requests to modify it and modifying the original agreement exactly as we've asked them to. So I would just entertain a motion or ask for a motion to approve this or not approve this interlocal agreement tonight, but then we'd send it on to the county to be recorded.
Hey, Bill, is this go ahead.
No, you're right, go ahead.
I
got a
just, is
couple
this
questions
something,
myself.
this is, that we're gonna do the maintenance on this line as well in the future if need be?
Yeah, the county built the line and we took possession of it, so it's ours to operate and maintain going forward.
So if someone wants a tap, they would pay us the tap fee,
Yes,
and then we would tap in, and then we would collect on the revenue on that sewer.
right, and there's also revenue sharing with, different county sewer districts as well.
All we'll share with them,
Yeah,
our revenue from that,
Yeah.
okay.
that's part of the original agreement, how it was all, established.
So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You make city sewer available to people in a rural area, but you don't force them on. So it's kind of striking a balance between, public health is served by making sewer available where they used to only have septic, but they we're not forcing anyone to hook to the line. So that was what was important to us in these negotiations.
One thing, and I spoke with Mr. Weldon about this. I'm trying to put my hand around the tap fee. For them to tap into this sewer, it's probably a force main, correct?
Yeah,
They go by the diameter of the water
The
line?
meter. The
water
meter.
Okay.
And so that's a good question. Go ahead, sorry.
No, you're
You
right.
weren't
Go
done.
ahead, go ahead.
No, that's a good question. It is unusual. So what we have here is the tap fee will be a rural tap fee. So it's our normal rural tap fee for either 5/8 or 1 inch. And every
5/8, 3/4, and 1 inch, yes.
yeah, and the way we understand it is every property except one is on 5/8 3/4. So only one property might have a 1 inch, but even they might be able to size down, and because it is almost double. But that's our rural tap fees. But then once they're on, they'll pay city monthly fees.
Right.
So they get kind of the benefit of that.
Plus the $18 a month too, correct?
The 18,
And-
yes, plus the
and letter E.
$18, which that goes to the SDRSD, plus 1,500 of the tap fee goes to the SDRSD. And it's my understanding that the tap fee is also a use fee, so tap fee is kind of misleading as well, because three of these properties didn't require a tap because they were on a private line and they moved onto our line. So they still have to pay that fee, even though it's called a tap fee. They still have to pay it regardless of whether or not a physical tap was installed. So they'll pay that to us, and we'll pass that $1,500 on to the county to help reimburse the cost of that line.
The only other question I have, and you have to bear with me, is the resolution number 3/2017, and it goes into specifics, but for some reason, it has all of which is hereby resolved by the Utility Service Board of the City of Lawrenceburg, Dearborn County, on this day, blank 2021, okay? And then it has the past USB board members, so I'm sort of lost here, and then it has the clerk treasurer, Mr. Fetty, and naturally Mayor Milan.
Yeah, where are you looking? I'm sorry.
This
The
is,
last
this was part
couple
of
pages.
the packet that I've got. It says Resolution 3/2017.
Okay.
I'm just, are you giving us that for just informational purposes, or why? I'm confused on that.
No, we, that needs to be changed.
Okay, I just wanted to make that clear.
So, Frank Kramer prepared that, and he was just using the old information.
Okay,
I'll
that's
say,
fine.
because the Attorney General is not Curtis Hill at this point.
Yeah, that's all
Well,
right.
no, they did get one person correct, and that's Mr. Abbott.
That's right. He's the only returning member.
I just seen that, and I'm like, I was sort of confused, and I'm like, okay, I think I understand, but I better bring it up. Just
Yep,
makes sense.
we'll fix that, and, yeah, the DCRSD drafted this
Okay.
document.
But how'd they
So
get Mark Fetty as the clerk treasurer?
I don't know.
Yeah, how'd they do that?
They like you, I guess.
You're an important man, Mark, you just didn't know it.
So I would ask for approval with those changes, and we'll make those changes before we have it signed.
Okay.
Any other questions? Not entertain a motion to approve the interlocal between the Dearborn County Regional Sewer District and the City of Lawrenceburg, or LMU, actually. No, I guess it's City of Lawrenceburg, is what it's written, which operates the LMU. Interlocal on the Wilson Creek sewer line.
So moved, Your Honor.
Justin, second.
I'll second it.
Second by Tommy. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys.
And Mr. Finn, what resolution number would that be?
Are we going with resolution? or
We don't
are
have
going with
Well, you're
just
calling it an
interlocal? It's
interlocal
just
agreement, and then
interlocal, so
the-
really up,
Part of it is a resolution.
so we do need a
that,
resolution.
yes,
So the resolution would be 2,
Two, okay.
yes,
and it would also
And it'd
be
be 20.
2021.
yes.
So I will, and so the approval is
Gonna be
conditioned
resolution.
on- I'll change that, or I'll have Mr. Kramer change that, and just whatever names
Can-
are wrong.
You know,
Okay. I'm sorry.
is time of the essence on this?
No?
I would like to have it come back with a fixed up copy.
Sure.
Of the resolution,
Okay.
That way, everybody knows what we're signing here.
that's why I pointed it out.
Okay.
Good point. As long as it's not gonna put a hold on anything, that's,
Um,
or time
no,
is of the essence.
they were just, I mean, the reason it got put in the packets quickly was because they were asking for it to get done.
Well, he should have done it correctly, and then they would, if he would, he should have called and got the right information.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Besides, that's just a draft anyway, it's not, we couldn't have signed that anyway.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I'd rather,
I'm fine with
I'll
that.
agree with you.
so, we'll just bring it up under old business next time and we'll sign.
Okay.
Okay, anything else under old business for utility board?
No, sir.
Mr. Kennett? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I'd like to call to order the City of Lawrenceburg Common Council meeting for April 19th, 2021. Everyone can stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. How about another roll call, Mr. Fetty?
Sure thing. Councilperson Tony Abbott.
Here.
Councilperson Justin Noppert.
Yes, sir.
Councilperson Tommy Roulette.
Present.
Councilperson Lenny Fryman.
We're gonna vote on it.
Present.
Councilperson Brett Bondurant.
Yes, sir.
City Attorney Dale Weldon,
Here.
Utility Director Billy Kennett,
Here.
Mayor Kelly Malone,
Yes, sir.
and myself.
All right, announcements, board reports, streets, alleys, and curbs, Mr. Abbott.
I have none.
Oh, my goodness. Streets, alleys, and curbs, we're moving on. Lenny Fryman.
Nothing at all, sir.
Oh, my gosh. That's good. Thanks, guys. Finance, Brett Bondurant.
I feel like I should reconsider. We're good.
All right, Parks and Playgrounds, Mr. Noppert.
Looking forward to seeing our street get done.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
That's right.
coming.
Hey.
It's picking up steam.
Is
got
it running on schedule?
Yeah, that's what guys. Middle of May, late May.
Memorial Day that
Okay.
weekend is the designated time, but we think that installation is a little behind schedule, but we can get ahead of schedule with the concrete work.
They'd have more workers instead of supervisors, it'd go quicker. That's just
I've
my,
had that-
that's
I've
my
had that
opinion from watching it.
I've had that conversation, Mario and I have had that conversation with the rep already. Yes, good point. Good point. Okay.
Only thing I'd say with the parks is that, you know, as the baseball, T-balls ramping up, as there's a lot more, the weather's breaking, just for the general public to be very cognizant of all the kids running around. I mean, but I talked to the chief this past week about just the stop signs. Even, I mean, I don't think that they're optional, even if they have white around the outside of them. You know, so in downtown, and there's a lot of kids. You know, school's still going on, and a lot of sports happening. So just everybody, let's keep our kids safe.
Well, if you see anywhere it needs speed bumps, let me know.
Don't get 'em.
I think on Pribble, right in front of,
That's right. On both ends of it.
yes. Okay. No, good point, Mr. Noppert. I agree with you. Okay. Fire Department, Mr. Roulette.
Another report, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I've got a couple of items, guys. One is the community picnic is scheduled for this Saturday from noon till 3. Great event. But we are going to make a decision on Thursday on whether or not we're going to extend it to the Saturday after as a rain date, based upon the current forecast, because the current forecast has it being sort of a rain-out day, the only day of the week. So we're hoping that somehow a front will push it back or push it forward, and we'll be able to get it in. But we're going to make that the call on Thursday, and we'll get it. If we decide to not go forward this weekend, we will get it on social media, and I'll be on the radio anyway to promote it one way or the other on Thursday afternoon. So
What was the date on the Lee?
that is this Saturday, Lee, over to Civic Park.
Yeah.
Okay.
It changes the,
It'll be the following Saturday, which is May 1st, I believe.
okay, thank you.
Yes.
May I make a suggestion, Mayor?
Yes.
You know, the circumstances with my grandson and stuff. Is it possible we just go ahead and make it for the following week, or is there a problem with that?
Well, we've got 18 vendors that are
Oh.
planning on this
The
Saturday.
rains are gonna stop it anyway,
Yes.
so, but, I mean, I'm thinking it would be out of the water and we could be there next week, prior to this week.
Yeah, we'll,
Or not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday.
yeah, we don't even know what the weather's gonna be like that.
It's gonna be nice.
Oh, yeah.
Austin's gonna be
Well,
out and it's gonna be nice.
I
I'm
told
telling
them,
you.
I'm hoping Austin's out, but
Yeah.
there is a lot of people that have to be we got food people and everything else, so we're really trying to hold off till Thursday to decide, just for that reason, but I understand. And if you can't be there, we understand that. Family first. Any other questions regarding that, guys? So be on the lookout. I got a couple things under new business that didn't make it that I just need your approval on, that I'll get to when I business. But okay, any other announcements from you all?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? motion carries. Committee reports, I believe Fire Chief Johnny Tremaine sent his in
Correct.
email. New business, I've,
Mayor?
Yes.
Quick too, and also the city court judge sent
it's
something
in your packet.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's in your packet, I'm sorry. You're
You're right.
exactly right. Thank you for a reminder. Okay, new business for me, the 2022 city calendar. It's not really a bid opening, it was a reading of the bids. They were just due in today by, I believe, 4 o'clock. We've got 2 bids, and this is, the city calendar is done by a committee. It's a member from my office, and a member from LMU, and a member from the LCD, because they all contribute to the city calendar. We've got 2 bids, and what I've been asked by that committee was to read the bids and then just give them the ability to look over them, and then they will make a determination of which bid to take. They just want the ability to be able to do that so they can move forward. So the 2 bids we have is, one is from the Register Publications. The total amount is $6,125.77. And the other one is from Modern Printing Solutions, and that bid is, that's a little, I don't know if this is the total or not. It looks like it's $5,590, and then there's an additional mailing envelope or something for $441.40. I wanted to read those out loud, but what I'm going to ask for, and this is the reason they want to look at it too, the committee, so they're comparing apples to apples to make sure they're getting what they need. So the motion I'd like to have is a motion to allow the calendar committee to determine which bid to take. They're pretty close anyway, based upon making sure that they review the specs and everything is in line with that. So that's the motion I'm asking for. Any questions before we? Can I get a motion?
Have we used either of these 2 in the past?
I believe Register Publication has been involved in the past, yes.
Okay.
Well, my only thing is if they are apples to apples, will they go with the lowest bid?
I'm assuming they will. Yeah.
Pass that on. I would rather them go with the lowest bid. I mean, that's.
As long as they're
That's why we
apples
do
to
it.
apples, I certainly will do that. Not a problem. Any other questions before? So I got a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I got 2 other small things, and I'm sorry they weren't on these came up in the last couple days. St. Lawrence has a 5K. Well, they didn't get to do it last year, of course, but they're just asking permission to do their Panther Prowl 5K, and it's all to be done on the trail, not in town or anything, on August the 14th. It's the same day as the fire truck pull, but this will be early in the morning, and the fire truck pull will take place later that day. Any problems with that? Anybody? We looked at the schedule, and it should be fine. If not, I'd entertain a motion to approve the Panther Prowl 5K for August the 14th.
So
I'll move,
moved.
yep.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Something I want to bring to your attention, the solid waste, Dearborn County Solid Waste approached me, and then also Brad Massey confirmed. I guess we have a recycle trailer that we used to use years ago. It's a 2014 model. You familiar with what I'm talking about? One of those trailers that you can use to put recycle in and things,
Similar to what the county has sitting around.
like over at the Park and
Fairgrounds.
Ride, stuff
Yes,
like that.
okay.
This trailer is sitting over at the city garage and not been used. It's not gonna be used for this. We got and just so everybody knows, we're not going against the recycle program. We're actually gonna enhance that, and that more to come on that in another meeting. We're working on those right now. But the thing is, this recycle trailer will not be used. They are proposing that they buy it, they would like to buy it from us. And she went out and got, you know, what they would sell for. Brand new, they're like $18,000. Ours is a 2014, so they're thinking about whatever 50% of that would be. And, you know, being it's a solid waste and they do a great service for this county, I mean, I would propose we drop it a little bit more than that. So they're getting a decent deal, and we can take that money and invest it in something else over there. So how do you guys feel about that? Do we have to do anything special since they're another government agency? I mean, can we sell it to them for a suggested price that these guys come up with?
For between municipalities, we would just do identical resolutions and stuff for any amount you want.
So their board have to sign one, because they have a board of directors as well, solid waste does.
Yeah, and it can just be
Okay.
one page, very simple resolution.
Okay.
We did that with the fire trucks.
That's right,
Yeah.
with Aurora.
Yep.
Do we not have to clearly state what we would be selling it for, though, in a public meeting?
Yeah, that's what,
Can,
yeah,
yeah.
I would entertain a number.
Yeah. What?
If,
You were saying
how do you
that-
guys feel about selling it, number one?
Yeah.
I feel fine.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that, Lenny?
I was just saying, we might as well.
Yeah.
Now,
Somebody use
when we do when we're working on our new recycling
Yes.
program, we're gonna be using them also, right?
Oh, yeah,
I mean-
they're actually,
They're gonna be a big part of it.
yeah, we met with them today, and they're actually gonna help us also with the education piece of it, getting the word out to people, and things like that. And we'll be able to explain a lot more about our new recycling program. It's gonna be coming. But, you know, since this thing is not being used, they had approached Brad Massey. Brad Massey confirmed with me that, you know, it's just sitting there. It's not doing us any good. And we're not gonna be utilizing it in the future for our program. We have different things lined up. And we have probably all of our capital stuff lined up to use for our recycling program, so we don't even have to purchase anything. My suggestion was gonna be to sell it to them for $7,000. I don't know how you guys feel about that. They said, you know, 8 to 9, and it was what the company said it probably is worth. But you know, they're another
What if there's
governmental
some work
agency.
needs to be done on it?
I'm sorry?
What if I
No,
need?
they buy it as is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Is it
I'm
in
good
good
with
shape, though?
that.
I think it's in fairly good shape. I have not gone over and laid eyes on it here recently.
When's
I
the
remember
last time
passing by it a lot.
When's the last time it's been moved?
Oh,
That's what scares me. If it's been sitting there a long time,
You got tire
seven might be
water
too high.
bearings bad in it? There could be a lot of.
I can't answer
stuff
that,
in
guys. I mean, I'm not in favor of selling them a piece of junk, you know, but
Yeah.
if we have to do something, you know, to get it roadworthy.
Well, they're
we should
offering
do
us
that.
half. They're offering us 9, and we're taking a couple grand off. I mean, and that's gonna any maintenance that would have needed to be done.
I can get a hold of the director and say, hey, you know, whether you guys vote to do this or not, but, you know, if anything needs to be done, we'd like for, you know, since we're giving you even a better deal than what you anticipated, maybe they could take care of that.
Mayor, have they not come down and looked at it?
I'm not so sure that they haven't, Tommy.
Okay. So they just give you a number from the
Yeah,
bottom?
I think
Okay.
one of her, or one or two of her workers has looked at it. I don't know that they've moved it. I think they've looked at it.
I'm
You
fine
think
with seven.
7,000 is a little steep, or you think more like 5, and that give them room to fix it if it had to have bearings?
I think
or whatever?
7's pretty good.
Seven,
Fair.
you think?
Let's see.
That's our rare.
Can we take this money? Can we take this money and put it directly toward our new recycling program? Can we reallocate it like that?
We'll have to find out where the money came from, because a lot of times it goes back to where it
General
came from
fund, and then we'd
originally.
have to
My guess
appropriate
it's
it.
either MDF or Riverboat.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you, Mr. Fettig?
That's where we got
That's
this
what
money appropriated, yeah.
Yep.
Good idea. We'll eventually be using it anyway.
What
if we
trees or
have to do
speed
anything.
bumps?
What's that?
Or trees or speed bumps.
Yeah.
We gotta wait till these locusts come. Next meeting is gonna be, we're all gonna be covered in locusts, so.
Yeah. The windows, you won't be able to see out the window.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other comments about this?
No.
Can I get a motion, to sell or not to sell? That is the question.
I'll
For the
make
amount of
motion.
7,000, I'll make that motion to sell.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor is to sell the 2014 recycled trailer to solid waste, Dearborn County Solid Waste for a sum of $7,000, as long as it's agreeable to their board of directors as well. And we'll get Mr. Weldon to draw that up. Tommy, you made that motion and seconded by Tony?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And sorry I didn't get that. It just came on the last couple of days, so I didn't have time to get it on your agenda.
We'll let you slide this time.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Okay, one thing we gotta do is we had a favorable from the USB on the EMPA extension, 8-year extension. I'm putting it under old business, but, USB passed on 8-year extension on the EMPA contract, which would take us up through 2050, Mr. Kennett, correct? And it was passed on to council for a vote with a favorable from USB. Can I get a motion to accept or not?
I like those USB guys. I'll make that motion.
Yeah.
Second.
Bill, real quick, but is the 1982 is the original contract, and that's the one we saw? Okay, so I saw there's a couple amendments that we had read through, because I remember that a couple weeks ago when you sent that. There's no new contract. This is just an extension of
It's
that.
an amendment.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is amendment number
Okay,
3.
got it. That's what, yeah, great. I'll second it.
First, second by Justin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other old business, guys?
I have.
Yes, sir.
Where are we at with Bilby Road? You got an update on?
Started.
Started?
Yeah, they, Mario will be back tomorrow. He's been on vacation Friday and Monday. Him and I actually had a meeting set up tomorrow morning to discuss where we're exactly at with that. But yeah, everything's ready to go. And in fact, I thought they were starting some part of it last week.
Not know it. I was just.
Yeah.
Good.
He's supposed to fill me in on the progress tomorrow.
So we'll be seeing equipment move in and
I
trees
hope
being
so.
taken
I'm
down
ready.
and.
I'm sure the people on 48 are ready for that too.
They are,
I
but
know they are.
Yeah, they are.
I've been stuck on traffic on US 52 at times when I would have taken the back
Oh,
way
yeah,
as well.
absolutely. Yeah, same.
So, yes, good question, Tommy. Anything else, guys?
Don't forget Dale's got the fiber. That's in our new
You
business.
skipped
Dale,
one
you
of the new
skipped-
businesses.
yeah, the fire.
Oh,
You skipped poor old Dale.
oh, I did skip him.
Why, no?
I am
good.
so sorry, Dell.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Poor old Dale.
I got so excited I got so excited talking about solid waste and EMPA. So. Anyway, okay, yeah, fiber rates ordinance, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
thank you. No, I appreciate that. So if it please the Common Council, City of Lawrenceburg,
He's got 3 heads.
we have ordinance 6-2021. So this is our preliminary general structure for what is going to be now a new department of the City of Lawrenceburg. And this will, as you see starting on page 2, this will add a chapter to our local code of ordinances, chapter 55, which is Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications. And it does a couple things. Again, generally it sets out the structure, which is that Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications will exist under the umbrella of Civil City, and will be a department of the city. It's not a department of Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities any longer. It also specifically repeals and replaces the original ordinance 1-2018, which was the ordinance passed by Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities in the city of Lawrenceburg to create the communications division within LMU. And so what this ordinance does, in addition to establishing Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications is it repeals and replaces that ordinance and any actions that they took under the umbrella or the name of Communications Division of LMU. It also takes all of the assets and liabilities away from LMU and moves them over to Civil City, which, you know, we look at the city as being one city, and of course we operate that way, but LMU is in many ways a separate entity, especially financially, so we want to make sure that those that the fiber company is kind of cut out of LMU so LMU can focus on water, sewer, electric. The fiber company will become a department of the city proper. All assets and liabilities will specifically be moved from LMU to the city proper. This also establishes or reestablishes our rate structure and then some of the costs that are associated therewith. And moving forward, the rates, the costs, the terms and conditions, acceptable use policies, all the things that we use to operate as a fiber broadband internet service provider and also a management company for data and the storage of data and facilitation of data will be controlled not only by ordinance but also by published terms and conditions. Similar to the way that you see with LMU, you've got your core bedrock ordinance, which is the law, kind of the foundation, the legs and body of the ordinance, and then the terms and conditions, the acceptable use, that is published online, and it's a responsibility of the customer to be aware of, you know, what are the rules, what's acceptable use, what can and what can they not do using our broadband services. So we pass what we need to pass in terms of an ordinance, creating a new department and new laws for that, and then the terms and conditions published online and modified as they need to be. So this is a start. This is kind of the first step toward creating the Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications as a department of the city of Lawrenceburg and not a part of LMU.
Couple things I'm gonna add before you guys vote on this. Next Wednesday, Tuesday, one of those days, we got an appointment to go and talk with a gentleman at the State House about potential broadband communications monies available that's coming. Bryson will be going with me to do that as well. And what you're gonna also, and we'll just look, if you have any questions regarding fiber from here on out, I mean, we've officially given that to Bryson, which was always gonna be a part of his job description, but I was trying to hold off till the end of the year because he's got so much other stuff on his plate right now. But everything's really spilling over to him, and he's such a well, able-bodied person to be doing this, more so than what I would be. So he is taking the lead on fiber. So if you got questions, obviously you can always call me and I'll pass them on to him. That's what I've been doing, if it's technical. So anyway, there's a lot of good things happening. We are currently caught up with our backlog on everybody that we've been able to get a hold of. There's some that just never returned calls or whatever, but Julie has done a wonderful job, and with the help of Billy's folks that were dealing with this prior to her, I mean, it's been a transition to get the scheduling. We're taking care of all the scheduling now. We're working on the billing. We got training.
Want to mention that, like, you know, July 1st.
We got training coming up for our billing folks. The billing is going to be done through our Keystone software that we have over at the Clerk Treasurer's office. So that's going to be exciting. Our first communications to everyone is going to be going out that starting July 1st, you will get a separate bill for fiber. It will no longer be on your LMU bill. And that way it'll have to be paid separately as well. And because we're trying to, it's not fair for ratepayers, which is utilities' way of financing their day-to-day operations, to be really being a part of this fiber, because fiber is not rate-based.
So it won't even be in the same envelope anymore.
No.
Okay.
Bills will be going out separately. We're working on the timings for those. But anyway, we're gonna try to do a really good job of communicating that. In your utility bill this month, for May's month, you will have your first part of communications explaining that. We're not going into a lot of details on the other stuff on how you can pay this bill and stuff yet, because we're setting that up. But that will go out then in the next one. And then we will also have it all over social media and everything else. So we're trying to do it very methodically, and we don't want to confuse people or anything like that, but it's just a way we have to start separating this out. And so we're over the next 3 months, really, 2.5 months, those types of things will happen. We think we have a good plan going forward. So we just ask for everybody to bear with us. We think it's gonna work out just fine. Obviously, there might be some transition issues at the beginning, but we'll work them out and we'll figure it out. So anyway, any questions regarding this before we?
Go ahead,
Yes, sir.
go ahead.
After the City of Lawrenceburg Facebook post the other day, I housed a couple questions. As far as customer pricing, none of that is changing.
No.
The only thing changing to them is gonna be the title and
That's it.
eventually a separate bill.
That's it.
Okay.
In fact, we even went out, our service techs, our fiber techs, we had their clothing for this year. They just got it. It'll say Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications. And then the way we're gonna do this, we're gonna also set it up on our phone tree here at the city. So people will select fiber on any questions on the phone tree before it goes to utilities. So now, then people will know, oh, I have a fiber question, I'm gonna select that before, so it wouldn't go to utilities first and then thinking they're gonna.
Just
go
by
fiber
default,
first.
right. I just wanted
Yes.
confirmation.
Yes, nothing else has changed.
Yep, great.
Nothing's changed. No, we have not done anything different with the rates. What you're paying now is what you're paying tomorrow, right now. Yes.
Great.
Yeah, Tom.
Mary and I will confirm that, because I had one of the originals and I compared them. But the only thing I did notice from the first that I ever received is now that they're paying a deposit of $50 for a router and it's refundable after 2 years.
Yeah,
Now, anybody that has received this,
their grandfather.
okay, gotcha,
That'll be, once we approve this ordinance,
okay.
it'll be from then going forward.
So you're adding that, okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
and there's a reason for that, and just so we can get our money back, because there's a lot of
It's
transient.
understandable.
People are transient, that, move, every couple months or something for whatever reason, or they move to town and they're only here for 3 months, and we just wanna make sure we get our equipment back,
Right.
or we have a way to
Right.
recouping those dollars.
Well, it didn't really concern me, but there might be people out there saying, ooh, now I'm gonna get hit with this $50. But as you're stating, they will be grandfathered,
Yes,
and this is for newer customers.
yeah, we're
Okay.
not going back on people.
That's fine. I just was comparing
Now,
apples
if you
to
stop your
apples, so to
service,
speak.
and go somewhere else, then.
That's understandable.
Well, so I mean, really, because it's a 2-year contract, if you leave inside of the 2 years without some sort of release, you lose your $50 deposit.
You certainly do,
Even if you turn your router back in, you're losing your $50 deposit.
yes.
So we probably
Because-
wanna try to find some way to motivate people to somehow get us their router back, even if they do leave, just so we don't, we're gonna have the deposit anyway.
Not an
but-
easy way to motivate people to do
I know,
that.
it's just, some people were, prudent enough that they would.
I do allow people to do
So, the other question I have too is, this is, when we talk about our rates and, best practices, we're putting in here. I wouldn't mind seeing some type of a, for lack of a better term, rate study. $20, $19.99 a month, you get the promos from, the Comcast and those that come in really low. But then I'd like to see it, try to figure out, and this would be maybe in the future, that we do some type of a study to kind of understand the actual cost of use for us, so that, and for Lawrenceburg residents, I'll stand behind what we stated when we said, let's move forward on this. Let's the city of Lawrenceburg. But as we consider some other potential areas around, I think that maybe we should kind of take a deeper dive into that. for the
Well,
rates.
yeah, let's don't jump the gun, because you're exactly right. I mean, if we're gonna if we ever expand, obviously, I think a study needs to be done. What we committed to Lawrenceburg residents is what we've committed. That doesn't mean that it would never change, never's a long time. But, if they compare what we are to other services, we're quite a bit less.
Everybody I know who has it is just ecstatic.
I agree.
I mean,
So there's no changes. That's what we want to get out right now. There are no changes going on.
yeah.
If you currently have it, that's what you're currently paying. There is no additional charges for you. That's just, we're committed to that. Okay, any other questions, guys? If not, I'll entertain a motion to approve ordinance number 6-2021, which is the ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrenceburg, creating and establishing Lawrenceburg Broadband Communications, a department of the City of Lawrenceburg. This also repeals the existing ordinance 1-2018, eliminating the communications division of the Lawrenceburg Municipal Utilities. And I would, we will approve this ordinance tonight as long as it is a unanimous vote.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, guys.
It's been a long time coming.
Yes,
Good
sir.
step. Good step. Yep. Good step. Thank you. Thanks for putting that together, Dell. We had a lot of people working on this too, by the way. I mean, we had the clerk treasurer's office involved. We had LMU people involved that had been working on it. We had our fiber techs involved. We had everybody. So everybody did.
Takes a village.
Takes a village, you're right, especially for this thing. Okay. Any other new business or old business for this group?
None.
Your Honor, I just want to say that it's like 80 degrees in here, and I made a note for myself to sneak in this morning and turn the thermostat way down.
Yeah.
And I forgot.
What's that have anything to do with new business
It
or old
really
business?
is 79 degrees.
I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Well, last meeting I had a 3-piece suit on, so I cut down to 2 pieces.
78, I'm sorry.
Gene, are you
78
hot?
degrees.
I was too warm with my sweater. I
I'm
took it
comfortable.
off.
See?
But I'm comfortable now. But
Yeah,
it's
thank
pretty
you.
thin.
Does he really know what he's talking about?
So
We will take a look at that. Maybe it's not working correctly. We'll look at it.
I'm teasing.
No, it's good. I just wondered, where'd that come out? Under old business or new business?
78, I'm sorry, there was a glare.
Ask for comments
Still
from the
warm.
audience.
Still
That's
warm.
where we're at. Yeah,
I come out of the hot business.
yeah, I guess.
That's right.
Okay, if there's no new or old, entertain any comments from the audience.
I have a couple
Yes,
of
ma'am.
questions.
Please come up to the podium there, young lady.
All right. Jean Fouch, Pribble Road resident. My first question is probably for utility. I got the notice that the meter testing is moving on out to like Scenic and Kelly Bird and whatever. And we were on, Pribble were supposed to be last week, but our power never went out. So does that mean they didn't do our test?
I can check into that for you.
They didn't forget me and think I'm not in the city?
Sometimes there's some carryover with those reach alerts, so you may get tested this week. But I'll check into it in the morning.
But when everybody's power, does it get flicked off and on?
Yeah, what
Okay.
they do with that
Mine
test
did when they
is-
went down my street,
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah,
Pulls the meter out.
They
Yeah.
physically
Yeah.
take
Yeah.
the meter out, take it to the van, do the test, and then bring it and put it back in.
Well, that didn't happen at our house, because even if we weren't home, we'd have had flashing lights, when we came back. We'd had, the clocks would have been wrong. Yeah. So it didn't
I'll
happen.
check into that. and I'll let you
Okay,
know.
just wanted to let you know. The fiber rates, I'm kind of curious, and I'm not real techie, but we have the lowest price one, like the $20 thing. And occasionally when I'm trying to watch TV, I get that little thing going around, like maybe I don't have quite enough power in my internet.
Loop it up.
But the next one up is like 2.5 times more expensive. Is there ever gonna be like something in between? I don't feel like I need that real high end.
No, they probably won't be, and I'll tell you why. It's, there's, and I'm not the techie guy either, okay? But really, 20 is what, other folks have offered, other companies. When you jump on the residential up to 100, those are really, 100 is usually used when people are with smart TVs, any streaming, things like that going on.
That's what we're doing.
That's,
We,
I have the lowest as well. We stream every TV in the house, and I've never had any.
you don't have any problem with it, like,
20's a
kinda
lot.
doing that?
No,
20
we have,
is more than what people think, right?
20.
The
20 is
$20
We had
one?
100
Yeah,
prior.
that's 20 megabytes.
Or wait, what's the next one up? Was 100? 100's the next one. That's what we had with our prior service, and we could never get through an episode of anything without it loading. And now we jump down to 20, and it's much better.
Gene,
Do
what
you
we
think
can
there's
do-
some other
Yeah.
problem with, like,
I don't-
something
that's
else
why-
going
That's why
on?
I commented the way I did, because I'm not sure, because our internet's
Are you saying that it just, like it's working?
It's
and
buffer.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
buffering.
like
Yeah, buffering.
buffers,
Yeah.
that's the word,
Have
Justin.
them come out, if you could call the office and have them come out and check, they can check to make sure you haven't, somehow fallen below 20,
Oh.
or maybe it's your router or something.
right. That's
Okay.
That's as tech as I can.
yeah.
Okay,
I don't want to downsell the fiber because I'm in the same boat as Brett. I have the lowest one, and we have 15 smart TVs. But on occasion I'll see a little buffer, and all I see like dollar signs with that, saying I'm saving so much money. So that's just, you just got to switch your thinking around. When you got
well,
20
we only have one TV going at a time, I mean,
You have,
Yeah,
but
that's-
you,
It's only
you
the
have
two of
something
us.
different. That probably you can have them do a check, but you have something different going
No,
on.
that's
there.
that's
Okay.
Give your
unusual.
neighbors your password?
no.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's unusual.
We're all using Brett's on our
That's right,
streets.
that's right. And mine's
devices
still
easy
in good shape. Yeah, because it's not rare for us to have 3 or 4 different streaming services going, and
Okay.
I've never heard anybody
All
else
right.
complain.
I would call the office tomorrow and have them come out and check your
Okay,
stuff
all right,
out.
okay. And the other thing, when you were taking bids for the calendar, we didn't get one this year. Do they still mail them out, or do you have to pick them up somewhere?
We mailed them out, and then there was hundreds of them.
They were sitting, Gene, they were sitting with these for a while. I know there was a time
Yeah,
when
we
we
didn't
were like
come
in
for
and
a
out
while.
of meetings,
Right.
right?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, we weren't coming because of COVID.
Assuming we still have some here somewhere,
Yeah.
Probably in that safe right there.
won't you check?
They were
Yes, sir,
they were
I
here
most-
very they were
I
here
most
very
certainly will,
recently.
sir.
Oh, I didn't see.
Hey,
Okay,
lock it,
that's
Tony.
all I have.
Lock it.
peanut gallery.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can we see
thank
what
you.
we can do about getting Gene a name tape for the podium?
I think we are, at least on our chair. Thank you.
I sit in your
Anyone
chair when
else?
I come here for other meetings.
He does. I've seen it.
Anyone else? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, guys.
I always get to say,
Oh, you did?
for the last, no, did you hear them guys? They jumped right in there.
They took your job away from you.
Yeah,
buddy.
Billy,